and gentlemen, welcome to First Touch. Here we go. Dazzering, Roll Diz, and T-Bates coming at you live after a crazy weekend of RLCS. But first things first, gentlemen, how are we doing?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. Blessed day to be alive yet again. And yeah, a lot to talk about, man. Let's get into it.
What's that noise?
Rose mic.
Rose
my mic
mic?
is bugging.
I think it's okay right now, but you had the feedback going.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited to get into the show, man. Cause listen, y'all saw me yesterday on the stream, bro. First off, we got a lot to talk about. We got the GENG run of Destiny. That was exciting. We gotta get into the bandwagon. The bandwagon accusations. We're gonna talk about that, of course. You notice that the host of the show, he didn't even touch about that. But don't worry, I'm gonna make sure we talk about that. So we're gonna talk about the bandwagon. We gotta talk about the James Bot boot camp. Not buff. Maybe it takes away some skill. 2 times GENG went over to James Bot boot camp. They couldn't get the job done. The one time they weren't there, they're regional champions. Flip side with NRG, they're at home 2 times, they're champions. They go over there, they drop out top 4. I don't know. James Bot, you might have to work on them systems. Something's not adding up. We're going to talk about that as well. Anyways, but of course, the main talk of the line, the main thing everybody wants to talk about today was the GENG run. And I'm really excited to get into that because that was something that was nothing short of sensational. It was enjoyable, and it really brought me back to old RLCS vibes where it just really tugged at your heart, where it's just like, wow, they're really pulling off something special. And that was really cool to watch. So that's why I'm ready to get into it. I'm ready to have some fun.
Here we go. All right. Well, first things first, let's talk about GENG and, of course, the success that happened there. Spin up the globe and let's go. GENG pulls off something that most people would think be unthinkable, especially if you watched Open Qual 1 and Open Qual 2. Run me those highlights as soon as you can, Ben. But that being said, gentlemen, they got the job done when it mattered most. And honestly, that is the biggest point out of all this, when it mattered most. Roll this. Talk to me. How you feel about this GENG run, man?
I mean, it was incredible. Like, I think no one had them even coming close after this, after the previous 2 opens. I think they were one of the teams that people said that were gonna compete for a top 4 finish and be one of the major teams. But after the first 2 opens, it seemed like their odds were very slim and backs against the wall. They did the actual unbelievable coming into that championship Sunday. They looked like they were on point. Backs against the wall again in the grand finals against Ultimates, and they were just resilient. It didn't matter. They came back. Timeout was called, and as soon as Ultimates called the timeout, it was kind of leaning toward a little bit more towards GENG's side of things. They were on point. I think they smell a little fear in the hearts of Ultimates, and they took advantage of it and came out on top victorious. Great victory from them.
It was a great victory. It was a great victory. I think it was really showing something that, I mean, we're gonna ask the 2 brains of the operation in a second. We're gonna ask Kev. We're gonna ask Greg. What were they thinking about it? They're gonna give them their perspectives from the coaching seat. From my perspective, was that, I mean, they really showed resilience. You had to make an incredible run in order to get the job done. And I was talking about it. It all began with SSG. SSG didn't get the job done against POAP. You had POAP. All SSG needed was to get to 17 points. Actually, no, it wouldn't matter anyways. GENG won. But regardless, it would have potentially set up a different narrative that GENG would have had to process going into the weekend. SSG didn't handle their business. That had POAP getting the W. That moved SSG onto the other side. And then other side of the bracket. So SSG couldn't even stop GENG from getting to the grand finals. POAP had to do it. POAP couldn't get the job done. GENG should be POAP. I would say probably 7 times out of 10, if not more. They're a better team than POAP. They're a better team. They have more resources than you expect to get that job done. And once they got to the grand finals, no NRG in the way, no ultimates in the way in like a semifinals. It's just 1 match grand finals, and they had a little bit of cushion knowing that we already got the tie break. That means that we can go guns blazing in this matchup. We can pull all stops out because we have 1 more match no matter what. I think that might have played a little bit into it, and they just had some fun. Really went in, really took advantage of the matchup, really shone in the moment. Went down 3-1, backs against the wall. most people I say would give up. Most people might throw in the towel and go into that second match that I just alluded to, that comfort match, that fallback. They said, no, we're going to keep on pushing. And in overtime in that game 7, it was Gen G's game. Ultimates never stood a chance. In that overtime, Gen G was the better team. They deserved to win, and they got the win. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay. I see.
What you think?
For me, I mean, it's pretty impressive. It is pretty impressive. I would say the win over Complexity was good. You had a Pirates on a Boat team that did really well on Friday, came into Saturday, took down an SSG team that needed to make the major. Pirates could have also been on that same run. I think a win against them with a sweep was very solid. I kind of felt like how, I was listening back, and I kind of feel like how you felt on the broadcast when it came prediction time. You're thinking the way Ultimates look right now, they should have taken the series, but watching it, you could really see that resilience that was in Gen G, especially considering what was happening in the series. So like first couple of games, Ultimates just squeaking through with a couple of OTs. You had that game 2 7-minute 44-second overtime out of them that I think really could take the wind out of you. And then timeouts called. Gen G shows more and more fight, and it's just a battle. But going down 3-1 in the series and being able to battle back like they did, I mean, that was it was earned. It was earned. You can't take that away from them. It was, I mean, good Rocket League from them throughout the whole weekend.
Especially going against the Ultimates team that hadn't dropped the game yet. They were 4-0, I believe, for this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, they were 12-0.
They were 12-0. They had the goals I talked about. I don't got it off the top of my head right now, so somebody's got to fact check me with the stats. But I believe at some point prior to this match, it was like 25 goals to 4. I can't remember if that was just on Championship Sunday, or if that was combined Saturday and Sunday. So Ultimates wasn't letting nobody score. They had just handled NRG, a team that had been to 11 straight grand finals, including international events. Handled them, made it look simple, made it look clean. It was, I'm not gonna say effortless, but they came out, they dominated, and then they went up 2-0 against this Gen G squad, won a 7-minute overtime. And Gen G, this just really shows the story of them. This shows the story. Rebels hadn't won a regional, a qualifier in almost 4 years to the date, and all the way back to RLCS X, which is crazy to think about. Cheese and Magic Bear, they've been to a grand final before, but they've never got the job done either. First killer, he's won all of them. He's won so many of them. It's him and Atomic. Beast Mode Daniel, that's who's been winning the last 2.5 years in NA. So you would really expect at this point Ultimates to handle business, but Gen G is just that dog and that fighting. It's that Cleveland him. It's that Cleveland put into him by RawGreg and still into him by RawGreg. Where they just get the job done, man. You never give up. And you keep on fighting. That's what you gotta love about this squad, man. That's what you gotta love about it.
Yeah, you do. This is just taking some quick looks back at the series. Again, such a performance out of Gen G, especially just the way Ultimates were kind of going back and forth between the two. You look at Cheese especially. He averaged almost 4 shots a game, shooting percentage 30%. 1.14 goals per game. Great performance out of him. 1.86 saves. But I mean, full team effort definitely on Gen G. Honestly, too, looking back too, the mechanics we've seen out of them, especially from Rebels, were looking really nice. It just felt like they all kind of like leveled up individually as well as their team performance.
Look at these saves. Some saves is nice. It's a counter-attacking unit. Nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do. Looking right here, though. I'll tell you this. LJ still doesn't want a regional either. Which is crazy if you think about it. They beat LJ to be in his first...
Wait, this is clean.
Yeah, in his first dub. I mean, the Bear was on one all weekend. The Bear was on one all weekend. I've been hearing a lot of things from Thunder. Gen G sub, for those y'all don't know. Also used to be an RRS. Good player. Good player in his own right. All the OGs know him. And he's been telling me about the Bear for at least a year now. Say, Bates, you understand, Bates? The Bear, Magic, he's on one. He's great. He's a top 10 player. I'm like, top 10? I don't know, man. But listen, after this performance he put on all weekend, I can see it. I had to message him yesterday. Had to hit him with a lethal shooter. I understand it now. That's why I messaged him. I had to. Cause like I understand. Cause look at the Bear go. Look at the Bear go. Set up Slater all the way. Look at
Chronic not go.
Well,
jump.
Sometimes you hand down, man down. You know the rule.
That's
And
right.
I'll tell you this. Ultimates took the lead, but then they had a mix up Chronic on this back line. If that's the next highlight, oh, it is. It's coming up. It was a bad touch.
Yeah, this is
It was a bad touch. This is one that Chronic's gonna want back. He's gonna want that back. That's inexcusable.
I mean, you
Double
see the
jump
cams,
panic.
man. He head
Double
down,
jump
he had
panic.
his hand in his hands.
And after this point, I mean, we didn't show the build up because from there on in, after Chronic messed up,
yeah, it
that
was
next
over.
4 minutes, it was all Gen G all the rest of the way.
Ultimates did not drop a game in this playoff bracket, and they started from lower round one, just like Gen G. But when it came down to the finals, Ultimates 3-1 lead in the series, and Gen G Mobile One brought it all the way back to win, giving Cheese and Magic Bear their first North American regional win. And what a big one for them as well, being able to qualify for Birmingham.
Major one indeed. Let's get the guys into it. Now it's about time. This is what the people want to hear. I'm ready.
All
for
right.
'em.
Let's bring in our special guests. We've got RawGreg and Kevpert, both coaches of Gen G Mobile One Racing. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I've always watched First Touch, and it's exciting to be here for the first time. Thanks for having me.
Look at Kev. I mean, actually, no, both of y'all get background. Cause I mean, Greg, they seen you before. They also see you on the camera, so they should know about you, Greg. But I see the unsung hero, and I had to make sure that Kev got on this camera today, if he was available. Because Kev, you let the people know what you're bringing to the table. Because they see Greg, but they don't get you. They don't put the camera on Kev. Greg, why don't you get on RLCS production? Tell them to put a camera on Kev too.
What, you want me to tell RLCS to put a camera on Kev?
I mean, listen, y'all got a double coach system.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kev, tell the people what you be doing. Tell the people what you bring to the table for the squad, man, just so they understand.
Well, I work in a assistant coach capacity, working with Greg for the last 2 years, dating back to Optic, and I work on player development, work on the tactics, work on developing the mechanics, and I just basically do what Greg does, like whatever he needs, I work with him, and that's been our relationship for the last 2 years.
Oh man, that's love. That's love. And Greg, how much do you love working with Kev?
I mean, that's my duo. Like, wherever I go, Kev goes. So, I mean, it's just what it is now. So, I couldn't be more happy, and especially because this is me and Kev's first regional win too. So, somebody that deserves it for all the hard work he puts in is definitely Kev.
You guys got to talk to me. Give me your perspective on this run. It's like, of course, you guys start on that round one match. You take it match by match. When did it kind of start to sink in for you guys? Like, yeah, we're definitely taking this one for sure. Was it just that mentality you guys had going in from the start, or was it like a certain win that really kind of like pushed you?
You want to go for this, Kev?
Yeah, I think after game 2 or 3 of Complexity, that's when I started to know. We were playing so well in that series, and that set the tone, and Complexity looked shell-shocked. And with them being one of the top teams, that was our first big win. And so once we felt we had that belief and that confidence, we knew we were going to take it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I echo that. It's the same thing. It was Complexity. We were going into Complexity, and I was telling Kev it was hilarious because I woke up that morning, and we had vast different Saturdays, right? Like we woke up and Kev said he was nervous all Friday, like all Saturday, and then I woke up Sunday, and I wasn't nervous at all Saturday. I was like, oh, I think we're gonna do it. Sunday, I woke up, I'm like, holy, like I gotta go look at Complexity kickoffs, and Kev was already in the. He was ready in the Discord. He's like, hey guys, I got Complexity kickoffs down. I need you guys in the Discord 20 minutes. Like, so we were just on the same page. It was great.
Listen, see, I want y'all to introduce yourselves, give a little biography, because I want people to understand the amount of work I put in. But y'all both sold yourselves short, so I'll try to do it a little bit. I don't think I'll be able to do it justice. These two are Rocket League. I was gonna say, nah, I can't say that. These two, no, that has nothing to do with OGs. These two are obsessed with the game of Rocket League. Let's go. I think that'll go for it.
Oh,
I'm telling you, this man Kevpert, those y'all at home. This man will live in a replay. he gets excited about watching replays. Not a lot of y'all get excited about watching replays. He's like, oh, I can't wait to watch that replay, y'all. Hey, he'll come hop into Discord sometimes. Be like, hey, y'all seen that one game? Hey, y'all watching RLCS right now? Like from out of nowhere, Kev. He must be watching his living room. He runs into Discord, just talk about ball. This man loves ball, and Greg also loves ball as well. These two stress about the game so much. They're on it 24/7. If you want to have a program-esque that is similar, what you would think is what an NFL or NBA coaches are doing, how they're thinking about the game 24/7, like it is their life, it is their job. They want to be great at it. These are what these two do these are what these two bring to the table. So of course they're doing the replays, and that's just I can't really give it justice. I just want to put it in perspective so people know. I mean, like so people know how much like time and work and effort y'all put in. Because it's very I love seeing people putting in work and putting in that greatness. That moves me. That moves me, and people care about something. So I just wanted to make sure that people understood that. Now, anyways, going back to the run. So, Greg, you said that on Sunday you felt nervous. You felt nervous. You didn't know. So, what were y'all telling the guys? What were y'all telling the guys prior to this weekend? What were the talks like? Because prior to the weekend, y'all weren't necessarily having the results that y'all would have expected to have. So, what were those conversations like leading up to it? Let's set that framework. Let's set that story.
I mean, you got to go back to after Regional 2. And like you said, we were at the James Bond facility, and I mean, it was bleak. Like, it was not good. We were talking to the guys, and, I was not handling the situation probably like I should have. But I was not happy with the results we were having and, the amount of preparation and work we put in. But it was never a problem of effort or buy-in or complacency. It was actually just, we were just on the day, there was something about the pressure that was getting to us. And, Kev and I had been putting him through like rigorous, when I say drills, like it's hard to describe, but like we put them through pressure drills. We put them through we're constantly trying to put them in situations where the pressure is the highest. So when you get into RLCS, it's like, well, it's nothing. And it actually felt like it backfired on us. So then after Regional 2, it was like, well, what are we going to do? Like, there's no way we make major. And I had that attitude and I was kind of defeated. Mm-hmm. And then, we had a good talk with the team. I think, we all had our own blow-ups at each other, and we just communicated it within like the circle. And then we just got back. And I think probably from that Wednesday that we returned home after that regional, actually that first week back was tough. But that Monday that we came back, that Monday that we really, really got back into it again. I mean, it was
Monday the 24th or the Monday the 17th? Just to put it in perspective.
This is Monday the 17th, I think.
Monday
the 17th. Yeah. So once we returned, it was like, whatever happens, but we have to, it doesn't matter because we're only 2/3 of the way done. Or, I mean, we're only 1/3 of the way done. It's not like we're halfway through the season. It's not like this split doesn't count for anything. Like, you still have to go out and win this regional to get points. You still have to go out and the goal is the same. It's not like anything changed because we finished 8th and we finished 9th. It doesn't matter. Like, you still have to, if you want to make Worlds, which is the end goal, then you have to win. And we had a goal in the beginning of the season, win the regional. Like, you have to win a regional in order to win Worlds, right? Usually that's how it works. So I think step one was, getting them on the same page and just being like, hey, we have to get points for next split so we can qualify to Worlds. Because if you can't have enough points for Worlds, then you're just out. So, yeah, I mean, it just started there. But then the conversation going into the weekend was, I mean, we felt good about the play style. We felt good about the bracket and how it was shaking out. And then as things kept happening, as we kept playing better and better, it was like, I mean, guys, I think we could just do it.
At that point, you just felt that you could do it.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Kev? Is that good? That was a good summation?
Well, it's hard to explain the pressure that the players were under because I think like a little added background to how we were talking about Regional 2 was that, we signed on to GENG and GENG have, major expectations. And we come in with top 8, top 12, and it's like, that's embarrassing. And everyone is embarrassed in their own way. We're frankly furious with the results. We were losing to good teams, but we were losing in a way that it was like they were just clean sweeping us and we're getting dominated. And everyone tries their best, but it just felt like it wasn't enough. So roster changes were discussed like amongst the entire group. Like, if we don't get the results that we want, like, this is on the table, and people's livelihoods are at risk here.
Mm.
And so we go into this bracket, and like we had worked and we had changed the approach that we took the training. It used to be like, hey, we're just trying to win the scrim, and then now we go into, well, what are the things that we need to do to be dominant, and what are the targets that we set in each scrim in each game that we have to hit. And when we started focusing like that on the individual, on the team aspects, we started seeing a lot of improvement in the last 2 weeks. And from there, it just built and built. And then we get to regional day, and it's a nervous day. We play J-Naps on his retirement tour, which you can never take lightly. That guy destroyed us last year. He's a legend of the game. And it was nervy from the beginning. And then there's this pressure that is always hanging over our players' heads. It's that if you lose, it's an abject failure of the season. If you win, you live on. And so the goal was, you just got to get through Friday. If you get through Friday, you have Saturday, and Saturday is like almost like a rest day because you're not playing 4 series, you're playing 1. And if you can get through that Saturday, which was incredibly nervy for us because, again, that's a trap game. You play strictly business, you lose, that's embarrassment. And we win that. And Reynolds was, he kind of said on the interview that he was tweaking, and we felt it. Like he was kind of cracking under the pressure, and the other guy stepped up, took care of him. Greg stepped up, took care of him. And so we go into Sunday, and then complexity is the big game. You beat them. That's finally a good team that we beat, other than SSG in the qualifiers. And, it's a funny thing when you have Reynolds on your team, when his belief hits a certain level, he becomes the best player in the lobby. And that's what he became. and then after that series, it was just like the pressure was completely lifted. We play Poab, we 4-0 him. We find out it's like an easy series, I think, after game 1. And we take care of business, and then we're in the final, and Reynolds is talking like,
oh,
hey,
God, he's back. He's back, huh?
He's back. And he's like,
confidence
hey,
is back, huh? He's back.
He was saying, like, I've been pro for so long. You can't take these grand finals lightly. You can't take them for granted because you don't know when you're going to get into another one. It's been a year since he got into one, and then, a couple years before that, before when he was on SSG, when he was making them. And he said, just enjoy it. Like, we have a second life. That cushion was huge. We knew, like, we were super hyper confident against SSG, and we're just going to try to do something against Ultimates. Ultimates were a monster of a team yesterday, and I don't even know how we won some of those games, but at that point, it's not about tactics. It's not about mechanics. It was something else that we saw.
I mean, he put it perfect.
He did. I'm not gonna lie, he did.
So, okay. And so, talked about the complexity matchup. You got by complexity. Well, I want to dive a little more into that the Ultimates one. Ultimates, they hadn't lost yet. Kev, you saw it. You said they're a monster. They hadn't lost yet. And then talk about game 7, because Greg was just telling me, and so I wanted y'all to tell the audience that y'all are on delay or something, watching the game. Coaches are on delay. And in game 7, y'all had a lot of opportunities. But then the mic delay had it like to where y'all are hearing it's open, and then Greg, you and Greg gotta wait to see what's going on. Then all you hear, whoa, don't get back. So talk to the people like that. Give that perspective. That game 7 was very all over the place. So just want to get a little insight on that.
Well, now they do the coaches feed where, it's on YouTube. So it used to be in a Discord server where it was just, I mean, it was pretty, it didn't have much latency. So you would get it pretty directly. But now there's, the YouTube stream that they give you sometimes buffers and stuff. So in that game 7, it was buffering a little bit. And so all you're hearing is your team's comms. And at a certain point, when you start hearing your team's comms, and you guys know this, when a team's about to score, they don't talk. So like there's this huge pause of silence. And then if it goes in, they explode. Nice, come on. And if they don't, then it just goes back into comms. And that overtime especially was like, that happened about 6-7 times. And at a certain point, I couldn't even watch the screen anymore. I'm like, I just got to listen because it's out of my hands at this point. We're in overtime, next goal in, it doesn't matter what I say. So yeah, it was one of that overtime. But what was nice about it is that it never felt like we were being pressured. And this is just audibly, by the way, because I like I said, watching the screen, you can't really, it doesn't do it justice. But audibly, we were never getting pressured. And then when I went back and watched it, I was like, wow, I mean, we really, really dominated that overtime. So, I mean, that's all kudos to them because they put in the work. And like going into a series where we were down 3-1 and we had all the pressure against us, especially against an Ultimates team that was peaking. I mean, seriously, playing at their top level. I won't even say peaking because those are great players on that team, but they were playing at their top level, and we matched it. I mean, I was just so proud of my guys and so impressed.
Going into this major, I believe you guys took the 3rd seed, which congratulations on that. At the beginning of the season, Gibbs did a pro power ranking, and you guys were ranked 4th. Now you did better than that, but man, what a way to get there. How, in terms of how this stretch has gone from starting as you guys started off with the results you guys talked about it not well, and getting to this point, what does a run like this mean to you? Both of you.
Yeah, you can go first, Kev, if you want.
Yeah. I think a run like this it's like the ultimate relief and satisfaction after a year of, I think, failure. The first split, we were coming into it because we had Saudi when we played at FIFA E, and frankly, we got embarrassed by France and Brazil, and even a little bit by Morocco. But the France matchup was, I mean, they kind of showed like what was possible in Rocket League. We were getting Brazil. it was just insane. And I didn't go, but Greg was calling me and he's saying like, you don't understand France. Like, we're scrimming them and they just put 8 on you, and it's like relentless pressure. You have no boost, you can't move. Like, you don't understand how embarrassing it is. It's actually like depressing to think about. And so you have a team like that, and we have a result like we did against Chile, which we were unable to win. And we look at that situation, it's like, wow, like, we can look at this as like an abject failure, or we can use this as, we saw something in Saudi that no one else has seen in NA, seriously, except for maybe like CRR, who's in Spain, and Raceable. And we can take this and use some of the stuff that they did and set us up for the season. And that's what we did. And that's why, we were power ranked number 4, because we were playing extremely well in scrims. But pressure is something a little different that affected us in the first 2. Greg, why don't you continue on that aspect?
I mean, if you want to just talk about that Saudi thing, I mean, everything that Kev said was right. I called him. I was embarrassed. I was depressed. I mean, France actually took it to us to the point where I was questioning everything that I was looking at in Rocket League. And I've had those moments in Rocket League before. Optic after the second split, I went into like a depression almost, and I just started looking at coaching videos and just watching different versions of Rocket League. I was watching YouTube videos on like Rocket League. I was like, dude, do I suck? And France was another experience where I was looking at it and I was like, I'm thinking about this all wrong. And it wasn't completely wrong. It was just, we are doing something that clearly is not working against the best teams in the world. And to me, that's a failure. So we came home and we started labbing a little bit, me and Kev. And I started telling him what I was seeing that France was doing, and we developed like some pretty cool like theories about what they were doing. I don't think they're all right, but they were able to be transferred into our game. And I think that like, so when we come into this regional, we're thinking, oh man, we got these tricks, we're ready to go. We get them to James Bot's boot camp facility. Yeah, first regional, James Bot's boot camp. Like, I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm so thankful for James Bot, because GENG, James Bot putting us out there, like, we wanted to be France. Like, and I tell Kev that every day, like, the reason that I brought him on, the reason that we go so hard on these boot camps is because we want to emulate what they're doing. Those French orgs do it right. They boot camp, they have coaches, they have performance coaches, like they eat right, they sleep right. So that's what we're trying to do. So we brought him out there, and I'm like, man, like these teams don't even know what's coming for them. Like, like we're so ready. And so when we failed, it was like, again, it's one of those cycles where you have to go back into it and be like, well, what happened? So we go back for a second boot camp, we lose again, obviously depression. We're all talking. I got a cloud over my head. I'm screaming at people. It's tough. Then regional 3, we're like, all right, we're not going to boot camp. Let's just take the pressure off us. We don't have to do that. But the thing about boot camp is, and this is where I'll give it credit, is it hyper speeds up processes. So if you're trying to like, get your team to buy into a system, or get your team to see different ways and like bond and synergize, that helps a lot. On game day, I don't know, but it helped us a lot. So those first 2 regionals set us up because we set the stones in place for regional 3, where we were able to take the pressure off of us and perform the way we did. So the run is crazy because all the time we were sitting there preparing for pressure, and we already prepared for pressure doing it the hardest way in regional 1 and 2. So they were prepared for regional 3.
Okay.
Ah.
Go
So
ahead, Bates.
we had a copycat league, just like the NBA is, to where if things don't go right, if people fail, or they don't get the results that they want, they desire, they end up blowing everything up. They end up going somewhere else. Y'all stuck. That might have been like, I know they had
Barely.
the whole thing. Yeah, I know it's barely. Listen, y'all almost had a couple changes yourselves. But y'all stuck. How much would you say the fact that y'all stuck together is has elevated y'all's game or has brought y'all to this point? Like how much chemistry have y'all built with this team since y'all been together for so long? The ups and downs the boys been going through, etc. Like, has that benefited? And if so, how much?
Let me take this first, guy, because I just want to say something, because we basically kick cheese. Okay,
Yep.
it's not a secret, right? We kick cheese. We had Chronic, and it basically, it didn't end up working out. And I remember as that process was happening, that it just didn't feel right. And I think I even tweeted about it. Like, you guys, talking about me, Kev, and just this team. If you guys want to know who is seriously embodies what me, Kev, Reddles, everybody talks about, is Cheese. He is the nicest guy. He is the hardest working person. He sits in Discord with Kev. Think about this. And Bates, okay, and Roll Diz and Desmond, I'm sure you guys have heard. He will sit in Discord with Kev at 9 a.m, and Kev will just be doing his thing where he's sitting there, hey, Cheese, look at this replay. Hey, Cheese, look at this replay. And she's like, Kev, I'm in a twos match. And he's like, nope, getting this replay. And then she's like, okay. Every single day, though. I'm not talking about he does not take days off. He's running, he's eating. So to see somebody like Cheese win a regional after we kicked him, I'm telling you that's a special dude. To see the stats that he put up, to see him push all the BS to the side, he is actually one of the most special players in North America, because everybody counted him out. Nobody talks about him. They think oh, it's just Cheese, right? He's a decent player. But I'm telling you, that dude he's a demon. So I just want to say that right there. But sticking was extremely good for us, because our team develops kind of like a language. We say things, and I know you guys know, we say words that don't make sense to most other people, but you hear them talk about it and say it in comms, and it just makes me laugh. So I'm like, dude, you can't do this with a new team. They have so many unique ways to communicate that I think that's what propels us. And those guys really do love each other, and we love them back. But that's what builds a synergy, and that's what builds that belief, because it's not just, hey, we're a good Rocket League team. It's like, hey, we believe we can do this together, and we should be doing it together.
Very well said. I think it seems like everybody's extremely bought in, and you guys hold yourselves to an extremely high standard, which is great to see. I think a lot of outside people hold teams to semi-low standards, and if things don't go their way, they're just like, oh, well, they just had a bad day or whatever. It seems like you guys take that bad day and you're like, all right, we need to fix this, which is something great to see for the ecosystem, I believe.
Thank you.
But going into the major, what does preparation look like? You guys had your previous experiences against the French teams, the Moroccans, and some of these international level players. What does preparation look like now that you guys have made it and you're looking to prepare for them?
Yeah, I think we're in this weird part of the I guess off season for a lot of teams, where teams are going to take breaks, and so we're going to be screaming the teams that realistically are only the major teams, because those are the only teams that are going to be practicing right now. So Ultimates, Complexity, and NRG. And then I think probably a week and a half before the major, we're going to look for a boot camp. This all happened so suddenly, so we had no plans in place. It's not like we're NRG and we already know we're qualified. And then you go there, and then you're just scrimming every team. And I could speak from experience doing this last year. We boot camped at Sheffield at the Team Endpoint facility, which was an amazing experience, because you get to play Team Vitality, Carmine Core, Falcons every day for you, and you're just you're getting ready for the matchups that you're gonna have in the Swiss, and it wasn't pretty. I think we had some good scrims against like last year's Vitality, but we were just getting destroyed by Falcons, and you see the level that you have at those lands, and there's only realistically maybe like 2 or 3 teams that aren't on our level. Everyone is just so good. Everyone is an NRG. Everyone is an Ultimates. So that's the preparation that we have to get ready for. It's like our first round is NRG. We got to figure out a way to beat them. We haven't been able to do that ever.
Yeah, it's like you go into like an NA Swiss or whatever, or an NA GSL. You might have a team like Strictly Business. You might have a team like Team Evo, and then like you go into a LAN Swiss, and it's like your first round matchup is NA1, and then if you lose, maybe you play NA4, and that's complexity. Like it's insane.
Is that really how that's gonna work?
No, I don't know. But I know that we play NRG first round. So, but I'm saying you lose, and it's like what you're gonna fall to who? Carmine, Vitality, Furia,
Who's EU
Team
one play?
Secret.
I can tell you one sec.
Yeah, I
Keep
forget.
going. I messed up your train of thought. I'm sorry.
No.
Wild
It's,
card.
wow. Yeah, they play OCE. So
Who's the 2 seed in this lane?
is it NA1?
I think it's NA1.
How's the 2 seed
Yeah.
playing NA3?
I think it's based on Worlds performance.
Yeah.
And
If it's ba-
NA1 is like
If it's
They were
based on
second,
Worlds, G2
yeah.
was in the grand finals. I'm confused. Anyways, keep going, Greg. Keep going, Greg.
Well, so I mean, the preparation, like Kev said, like you get to these lands, and like I said, you have a game plan, and you sit there and you're like, this is how we're going to beat these teams, and then you play Falcons, and you play Fury, you play Carmine, you play NRG, and you just keep doing it over and over again, and then you're like, okay, here's how we're going to do this now, because it's a completely different game plan at that point, because land ball is way different than online ball too, so you just have to still have a good preparation in the game plan for those moments too, but you have to be able to stick the course and just master what you do. And I think that we've made the mistake in the past of like sometimes, me and Kev, we always call it like we over tech, or we tech out of our budget, and that's the problem with us. So, but it's really about mastering the things that you do well and mastering the strengths of your team. So I think this year preparation is going to look like we're going to see what the teams do, we're going to see what our team looks like. Obviously, make sure that their individual training is on point, and then we go to the LAN. You play with some energy, you play with some good heart, and you see where the chips fall.
Okay, that's good. You said that. Kyle got my last question. GG gonna make some noise in Birmingham or what?
I mean, we're gonna do our best to do it. Absolutely. I mean, if this weekend was any sign of what we can do, then I think that you definitely got to put us on it, because again, we were boot camping already, Regional 1 and Regional 2, so it's not like this is gonna be a new thing to us. We're ready for it. So yeah, no, I think we're gonna make some noise.
Kev?
Yeah. This is a team that has experienced Major and FIFA E. We saw some of the downsides of our team then. We've worked on those. We saw it in Regional 1, Regional 2 when we're boot camping. So it's a massively experienced team.
They
so we're
are
gonna be
actually, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about. And I think we're going to make some noise. Last year, we almost beat Vitality. We were catching fire. We thought we were going to do it. We fell at the very end to the world champs. But this time, other teams got to be ready for us.
Okay. Put GG on your radar, EU, Emina, Sam. They're coming. Birmingham, they're on the way. All right. Got to spend a long time on that, but that was great for me. I enjoyed that. Tomorrow, we got 20 minutes left in our cable slot. We have a lot of things to do.
That's right. Again, GENG will be at Birmingham, and hopefully they can make those crowd days so Reddle's parents can use those signs that they got prepped for him. That being said, another team that's also at the major is GK, who again pulled off a similar run last weekend. 2 back-to-back weekends of Rocket League where the runs have been absolutely electric. The question is Rocket League back? What's going on? I mean, where do you rank these last 2 weeks of Rocket League in the all-time ranking? Let's start there.
All time. It's crazy.
Yeah, this gotta go through your back. I'll go first, man. I'll go first. I'll say that I don't know where I rank it all time, but I will say that. So technically I'm not answering the question.
Yeah, I don't even understand what you just did there, bro. Like, you gotta go back in your bag. Actually, I don't know where I rank them.
But I will say that these 2 previous weekends had me really invested in watching online Rocket League for about the first time since about RLCS X, RLCS 21, 22. I would say online Rocket League was beginning to get a little boring. But then these two squads stepped up and said, listen, with the new point system, I got to give credit where credit's due. The new point system, the 15 points, that makes a difference. You win the Regi, you're in.
The Regi.
And I like that. That's how it should be. We should be rewarding excellence, and excellence means winning. And so, I will say over the last 2 weekends, they're up there for me. They're really up there. Like I really put them in at RLCS X, RLCS 21-22. Cause I love those seasons so much. I felt like there was always a compelling story. I felt like, especially in NA, I mean, RLCS X, we had 5 great teams, 5 really great teams. You're talking NRG, G2, The Machine, SSG. You had Rogue with First Killer. You had other teams. EU had BDS dominating, but you still had Vitality. You still had Queso. You had a lot of just storylines going. It felt like a lot of people could win. That was RLCS X. RLCS 21-22, same thing. Once V1 came into the fold. And so, yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like, wow, like this is nice. So it's up there. RLCS X, RLCS 21-22, probably my favorite season. So all-time roll is really high.
Are we talking about the last 2 weeks? Like, are we just like comparing it like 2 weeks now to 2 weeks ever?
Yeah, like that,
Wow.
or just like your enjoyment, of the game. You appreciate, like, just like how invested you are. I felt like on Twitter, at least, and on socials, the energy. There's an energy
The
that
energy's been
comes.
good, yeah.
The energy that comes when a great Rocket League is being played, and great competition. When competition is at a certain level, and it just naturally happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you to where people want to tune in. And that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to me.
I kind of have to disagree a little bit. I just think this was a result of the same team winning over and over again, and people getting bored of the same team winning over and over again.
That's
so
fine
now
then.
that another team finally comes up and competes, and especially a team with the hugest storyline that if they win, they make the major, and nobody had like expecting them to do it. They pulled the GK and did it. I think that was like the biggest thing. But I think people are just getting stagnant to seeing the same 2 teams in the grand finals, and that's why this was so much more exciting to witness, if that makes sense.
Wouldn't that go to my point when you didn't say that it was exciting?
No, but like the reason it is because of the consistency behind NRG and winning every single time. So we just got used to seeing the same 2 teams.
That's what
win.
made the 2016 Cavaliers winning so impressive when they beat
what
the 73 and 9 Warriors.
What I'm saying is previous seasons seem so much more exciting. This can't be one of the top 2 weeks we've ever seen. Previous seasons have always been exciting because there was a couple teams that were at the top always competing to win. It wasn't just a domination effect.
That's not necessarily true, because the Cloud9 championship is the greatest championship in RLCS history, because they took out the Dignitas dynasty.
You know, it's a good question, though.
Expecting them.
You know, it's a good question, though, because I think that, like, I think you guys both have good points. It's like, LAN play is fun in Rocket League now, right? Like, everybody's like, all right, whatever, online play. I think the last 2 weeks of online play have been pretty fun. Like, compared to, like, you know, other online play weeks, I mean, we're definitely seeing some cool stuff. But I think that there have been, like, better, you know, weeks of Rocket League, but it's mostly based around like LANs and you know, world championships.
Yeah, everything's based off of LANs and world championships, like online Rocket League. I like that, Greg. Let's make the scope a little smaller. Online Rocket League roll. Is it hype?
Yeah, of course it was hype. Like I'm not denying that it wasn't hype.
Yeah,
I'm not denying it wasn't hype.
It's hard to rank it though.
I'm just saying this is recency bias. Like this is actually recency bias.
I mean, it's recency bias. I personally can't attest to the last time I've really sat down. I'm like, I didn't work
because
the EU
NRG's been dominating for the last how many tournaments?
I mean, listen.
But that's
how many tournaments could you just like close your eyes, open Championship Sunday, and NRG's in the finals?
That's correct. That's the point, though. That's a factor that makes these past 2 weekends that much greater, because they took out teams that were just winning all the time, man.
Yeah. Like Carmine losing, NRG losing. Like I think that does it make it exciting? Yes, because it's like you're watching Titans go down. And you know, all respect to Carmine and NRG. Everybody loves watching them, but it's like at a certain point, we're sick of them. Everybody is, dude.
That's my point. That's my point exactly.
Yeah. What makes it exciting though?
It is. It's exciting. It's exciting to see a new team like come up, and especially GK in the way they did it. Like, I mean, dude, everybody was looking at Carmine like, dude, are they unstoppable? And then you're looking at GK play, and at that point, you're like, holy, like, you know, can anybody do this? And
again, the Batmobile?
Which is insane, by the way.
Talk to me about the Batmobile, Kev.
Oh, I love the Batmobile. Cook Zero is my favorite player in the early days, so I'm seeing the Batmobile spawn up in my ranked lobbies. We were playing the qualifiers. Justice on Nether America Canada rocks up in it in game 3 as like they're trying to change up something. And it's just so cool. Like for me, the simple fact that Oli's in the Batmobile, it makes this like especially that EU run, like one of the most impressive that I've ever seen. I'm seeing the Batmobile in 2025. That blows my mind. I love it.
We might even see it at the major. You just don't know. I mean,
I'm built
right now.
2025. You got Archie and Reynolds winning qualifiers in 2025. Man,
Yeah.
did we turn back the clock 4 years? What
Yeah, we
happened?
did.
Listen, we might have. We might have. Let's take a look at teams representing North America. Are these the best 4 teams NA could have sent to land? NRG, Ultimates, GENG, Complexity. You have SSG in that 5th spot. No tiebreaker for them because GENG did what they had to do yesterday. And then 9 Lives, again, with a very big bomb out, I think Friday. They weren't able to qualify either for the major. Those 2 teams kind of in the running. I mean, there were a lot of teams in the running, of course, for the day. But how do we feel about this? Are we sending the best 4 teams? I'm not going to ask the 2 coaches. Let's start with Mr. Disman.
The best 4 teams in North America. Did we send them? I got both of the coaches up here, and they're really the only team in question. All right, I guess you could say Complexity a little bit. But Complexity's been at the top of North America all season. I think that GENG is
Complexity
the
ain't
only...
won.
What?
You say you have a question mark over GENG for a question mark over Complexity?
Yeah, because Complexity's been more consistent.
I'm sorry. Do we value winning or do we value consistency?
I don't know, Bates. You tell me.
I don't know. Is Monkey Moon the GOAT?
Not yet.
Interesting. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, seems like we already know Bates' answer. But I would say the only other team in question is SSG, but they completely flopped the second regional, so I really can't put them up there. I'd have to give it to GENG in this space. And seeing that both of these coaches have extremely high standards for their squad, it gives me more of a reason to give them the spot, to be honest, because I think they're just going to constantly improve. And that's not to say that SSG won't. That's just to say that this team is still going to improve every single time they take the pitch. So I would say yes.
It's best 4 teams, man. No discussion to be had. No discussion to be had. Best 4 teams. NOG, the best in North America. Ultimates, I believe, are the second best in North America. And then GENG, I win the third one, are now the third best team in North America, in my estimation, until proven otherwise. Complexity, you're a consistent team, but you're 0-3 on Championship Sunday. Lost 2 times in NRG, you lost to GENG. You can't get the job done on Championship Sunday. I got to hold that against you. But in saying that, you're more consistent in the SSG squad, who has a very... I don't know how to describe it. I'm messing the words. What happened to my vocabulary?
High ceiling.
No. I'm missing.
No.
Wow. How am I missing this word? I'm just gonna say straightforward. A straightforward way of attacking your offense. If I see another air dribble bump from SSG on offense again, I might scream. If they don't pass the ball over the middle, I don't know what else I need to see. Because if you keep doing that, the same thing over and over again, and you're not getting the results consistently that you want, then that means you gotta switch it up. That's what SSG's challenge will be. All second major, second split is trying to really diversify their offense. Because right now it's very stagnant in my estimation. They do the same thing over and over again. It's not that creative, and they have a lot of mechanical talent, which I believe can really elevate their game and make them even more of a threat and even more consistent at that high level. But if you're going off consistency, if you're going off of winning, these are the 4 best teams. I think North America sent 4 great teams. I think these 4 great teams are going to be able to really do some damage over in Birmingham.
Bates is saying there's no debate. So let's go to something we can actually debate, which is the next topic. The accusations.
I need to go to the next topic. Oh, the bandwagon?
We're at the next topic. That's what
Now,
I
there we
was. Here, why don't you introduce this topic?
The bandwagon. The grand final streak comes to an end. And of course, it coincides with the fact that you saw a young man join a certain team again. He left them a while ago. Y'all remember, James Bond made a whole diss track, Money Talks. Apparently, Money Talk this time around, because it got him to go back to it. Let's roll the clip. Let's check out the tape.
event. NRG, the reigning North American champions, going for the three-peat. Something that we have never seen before. And we knew that we were going to have to bring out all
Oh, you got to refresh it.
into the arsenal.
Oh, it's good now?
This.
Yeah.
So not only did we decide to boot camp at the studio in person, we had to reach out to an old contact here, someone that we all know and we all love.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Regional 3, NRG, and I'm more than ready to get things going, baby. I'm back. It's Daz. James, it's good to be here, man.
Oh,
it's great. It's great to be here.
Dude, welcome.
That's
The
an entrance, bro.
bandwagon.
That's an entrance, bro.
That was interest, all right. It was interest, all right, because the bandwagon was back in the NRG helm. You were back in the NRG fold after not rooting for him for years. Did the stream break again?
It's just our feed, dude.
Is this my feed? Okay. I just need to know. I just need to know.
Just refresh it. Okay,
I refreshed it.
You can't see it himself. It's screaming at you, bro. Like, it's a problem. You
I
can't
just want to
stare
know
at himself.
that NRG2, the trio of the annual Beast Mode Atomic with Coach Sathyu at the helm. When they're on G2 and then continuing on NRG, they made 11 straight grand finals in a row. They had not been to a grand finals. They had never not been to a grand final since they were a team, a collective. And all of a sudden, a certain dude who likes the hip hop, the flip flop, some have been saying, the hippity hop, the no faith, hopped over to NRG. You saw him on NRG streaming. NRG didn't get the job done. So I got to ask the panel, is the bandwagon a curse? You let me know. You let me know. Chat, put ones in the chat if you think the bandwagon's a curse. Greg, I want to know what you think. Is this guy a curse to whoever team he's rooting for?
Nah. Okay, here's what I really think about this. I'm gonna save Dazrin a little bit, okay? I love James Bot, okay? James Bot's facility is the greatest place you could go to start, it's a good little town, Allegan, Michigan. Great place, right? Basketball court, you go to the apartments, like you get the James Bot hospitality. I'm telling you, dude, something's up over there, man. Something's up over there.
So you're saying it wasn't Daz and it's James Bot's facility?
I'm gonna give Daz the pat. Like I'm saying, like I can't call it yet, but I'm telling you that, I had a dark cloud over my head at that facility. I know Sadhu had a dark cloud over his head at that facility. So it's the greatest place. Like you sit there and you're like, wow. I mean, like I'm enjoying my time. The computers are great. Everything is perfect. But then it's like you get on the game day and you're like, what happened? I don't know.
Kev,
So-
what you think? What you think, Kev?
Nah, it's not a curse. It's I think it's just timing. That run's got to end at some point. Ultimates came out swinging. And
I mean, you could have wrote it any better than that, though. He leaves Gen G's officially back in NRG, and they end up losing. And that's timing, or is that destiny, or is that a sign? I don't know. Raul, what you think, Coach? I didn't see no tweets from you this weekend.
This is the only thing I'll say, man. Dazrin's been calling himself the true unbiased. That terminology has to leave his language, and that title can no longer be claimed by him. You are no longer the true unbiased. And that's all I need to say.
So mystical, bro. Like the true unbiased. What?
Is it my turn? I just want to know if it's my turn.
Yeah, it has to be because Bates is gone.
Yeah, that guy Bates gone.
No, because I need him here. Bates, fix the camera.
Bro said,
Wait, is he
bro said,
gone?
is my camera gone? And then dipped.
I'm not gonna lie, he might actually be gone. Did Bates' internet die? Bates, Jordan on the phone. Either way.
Yeah,
Oh
he's gone. He's gone.
Somebody's gone. Somebody.
Oh, there he is.
There you go.
Oh,
He's
there we
back.
go.
You're back.
I'm back. Yeah, you tried to cut me off. You tried to cut off my internet. You tried to cut off my internet. I was out here speaking the truth to the people, and you tried to take me out the bandwagon. Get your speech in. Go ahead. I'm back now. Yeah, you can't run. You can't hide. I'm still here. I'm here.
Good. I want you to be here. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with this. We have about 15 RLCS casters, right? About 15 of them. You probably said we got about at least 10 RLCS caliber casters on reserve. So why am I at the NRG James Bot facility? Because there's only one answer. They called me. They called me. Out of all this crap you guys put there on the internet, the flip-flop, the bandwagon, I said it at the beginning of the season. I said that I'm the true unbiased. I don't got a team. I'm chilling. I'm being calm, cool, collected. What happened? Hello? What's up, James? Oh, you got everybody at the facility? Oh, that's cool. I might want to say hi. Oh, you want me to come on the broadcast? I mean, sure, why not? I'll do it as a favor to you. Show off the beautiful James Bond facility, show off everything else. I got the call, had to do some favor for my homeboy, woke up at 8 a.m., drove over, said what's up to everybody, and drove back. Okay? It was a good day. The stream was fine. We beat Ultimates on the stream when I was there. I wasn't even in the same part of the country when they lost to Ultimates. I was in Phoenix at Corelli's wedding. What it sounds like is that the NRG hater fans can't take a L, so then they gotta blame me. They gotta blame me. You know, and that's okay. That's okay. Because I broke the true unbiased code. I broke the code. I was biased for 3 hours. I was biased. So I gotta hold that. But Roll Diz is talking about I can't claim the true unbiased. What are you talking about? I came up with the name. You know what he said to me last night? He said, bro, that's something the true unbiased would never do. I was like, how you know what he would ever do? I'm the one that made it up. No, I can't do nothing. That's what we saying. It's okay. Listen, some people, if people want to use me as a scapegoat, you can. But all I'm saying is I was a special guest for the week. I was just a special guest. They ain't even say, yo, it's time to get back on the team. They just say, yo, come through, chill.
Oh, they ain't gonna want you back no more.
Show off the facility. Listen.
They ain't gonna want you back no more. You ain't gonna worry about that.
If I get that call, it's over for all y'all, okay? If I get that call,
it's over for NRG. It's over for NRG. You get that call.
But you can't be mad at me.
I got a question for the panel. This man wants to keep reclaiming the true unbiased. Would someone who is truly unbiased wear the NRG cap on the stream?
No.
You could have went in neutral.
No.
You could have went in wearing what you're wearing right now. But
winning neutral is crazy. You know that's crazy,
buddy.
You know that's crazy. Hey, I'm on their stream. Okay? Listen, I had Andy tweeting. Andy was happy to see me. Dave was happy to see me.
I'm glad they all glad. Hey, they were all glad that the result didn't come through. They said something's up. They said something's up.
No, you can't say that. They made playoffs when I was there.
But
they got nothing to do with me.
Listen, it was already over though. Yeah, it was already over. The tainting of the bandwagon, the flip flop, had already set its way. Listen, all I'm saying is it was great. Hey, NRG is 0-1 ever since Demar made his way back to that stream again. Yeah, Flay, it's all jokes. Obviously, it's not that. It's probably James Bond's facility. Anyways, let's move on to the FC Top 10. Let's move on to FC Top 10 real fast before we get out of here. We only got our time slot. Let's skip Chiefs Clutch for Falcons Reign Supreme. Get the FC Top 10 out the way, please. Let's get out the way. Let people know.
Top 10.
Let people know. Let's see the top 10. Ooh, it's already there. You might as well keep it up there.
You already caught, buddy.
This can't be right. I didn't put.
No, bro. No.
This is not right.
Now, this can't be right, bro.
This is not right.
This is Wade Punk's top 10. Take this off, man. Man, man, this is Wade Punk's top 10. Is this my top? Is this our top 10?
No. This can't be.
Nah, take the top 10 off, man. We'll just tweet it out later, bro. Get it off the screen. We'll just tweet it out later. I don't like it. That's not my top 10. That's not my top 10. I don't like it. I don't like that. Nobody screenshot that. Those are inaccurate. Those are inaccurate top 10s. You just get the screenshot. That goes on Reddit. It's not our top 10. When you get that proper tweet from the first touch handle, that'll be our top 10. That was not our top 10. I know it because it wasn't it. I've seen it before. I understand that it's not it. Anyways, it was a good show. We only have an hour. It was fun. We had to get through the bandwagon talks, and that's exactly what we did. Greg, Kev, how'd you feel? How'd you feel on the show, man? Listen, I thought y'all were absolutely sensational. I really want to say congratulations to you two. I know how much work y'all put in. I also know that Oh, we have 1v1s this weekend, guys. Make sure to check that out. Make sure to watch Johnny Boy Fear. I'm sure they'll be talking about the whole entire time. It's going to be great. Back to Greg and Kev, though, because they have the spotlight. Just want to really say that congratulations to y'all for real, from the bottom of my heart. I know the type of work y'all put in, no amount of time. I know you got ups and downs, and it really is like pull somebody and really motivates them to see like y'all have to go through a little bit of a struggle. I feel like that's more something that people can associate with. I know NRG and G2 and all the boys are always great, and most people can't relate to this pure greatness. I mean, they win all the time, but the fact that y'all have lost and then you came back and you won in this moment when the chips were against the line, but as you had to get the job done, a really big kudos, big credit to you two, Cheese, Magic, and Slater, and everybody else on GG that made that happen. I want to give y'all the floor, and I also just want to say thank you for coming on. I personally enjoyed all 40 minutes of y'all just talking about y'all's experience and the team. I'll speak for myself, and I think I can speak for the boys for that as well. I want to give y'all the floor before we head on out here.
I mean, that's amazing. But, you know, we always appreciate coming on here. Like, we love all you guys and watching your guys' podcast. I mean, it's amazing. So to be on this, it's definitely a blessing. And, you know, I just want to thank you guys for that.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm always in the background, so I don't really get to speak, but I just love talking Rocket League, and I can see you guys are extremely passionate about it, equally as me and Greg. So it's always fun, and I appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys as well. Guys, I'm going to put in the Twitch chat, RawGreg Kevpert's Twitter. Be sure to drop them for a follow. And then, of course, guys, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate it. These guys have been putting in a lot of hard work for a long time. They've been following Rocket League since like 2016. So the fact that, you know, we see them here today with all of us, I mean, it's really, truly a blessing. So again, thank you for all your work. Thank you, World is a T-Bates, of course, for all the great show. We'll talk about these allegations another time. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next week for more First Touch. Be sure to keep it locked in with us here on either YouTube, Twitter, or wherever you want to find us. That's it for us for today, though. 1, 2, toodaloo. We'll see you guys.